dear, oh dear. Oh, perhaps I should try this. Oh, so maybe not that one after all. I wonder. Yes, I wonder. So not that one either. Goodness, this is going to take absolutely ages. Oh, goodness. Oh, no, what's wrong with the wretched thing?
What's that terrible noise?
What? I can't hear you. Speak up, child.
What's that terrible noise?
Isn't it obvious? It's an alarm.
I realize that, Grandfather. But why is it ringing?
Because I don't know what I'm doing, child. That's why.
Oh, Grandfather, you did it. Well done. Oh, thank goodness for that. I thought my head was going to explode.
Something of an exaggeration, Susan. But I take your point. I assure you it wasn't intentional. At least now I know not to push that button again unless absolutely necessary. It's just a pity I can't recall which sequence of switches I needed to press to isolate the alarm. Oh well, it can't be helped for the moment, I suppose.
Do you think it might be a good idea to take a break?
Eh? Oh, yes and no. I must know what all the controls do individually, and also if pressed in various combinations. But I'm beginning to think that there are big problems on this flight deck, so the solution may be elsewhere.
So, do you have a plan then?
Oh, well, yes. I was keeping it in reserve as Plan B. But after today's fiasco, it's now Plan A. According to the plan of a ship, there's a secondary control room. I suppose that makes sense in a vessel of such size that there would be. I'm hoping I'll have better luck with the instruments there than I have here.
Well, it's certainly worth a try, isn't it? So, where's the other control room?
Where there's 3 decks down and about a mile, that way. Would you care to accompany for a stroll, my dear?
Oh, why, thank you, kind sir. I'd be delighted. Grandfather, surely we should be there by now.
Yes. That's what I was thinking, my dear. I can only think that the ship has been reconfigured at some point, and the plan hasn't been updated.
But I thought the map was meant to display current status.
Well, yes, come to think of it, it should. But as with so much else in the ship, I think there's been a glitch in the system. However, let's give it another 10 minutes and see whether we stumble upon it.
I'm beginning to think the secondary schoolroom has been deleted.
Deleted? On the contrary, child. Look to your right. Someone even had the presence of mind to label the door. Shall we go in?
Oh, it's quite dark in here, isn't it? Just emergency lighting. Oh, and it's very dusty. It probably hasn't been used for in centuries.
Oh, yes, I dare say you're right. Well, let's see if we can get a sign of life out of the old thing, shall we? Console responding. Good, good. Now, lights. And scanner. Good, good. Do you know, Susan, I have high hopes that this control room is going to prove to be better than the other one.
Oh, well, let's hope so. Grandfather, do you think this control room follows the same pattern as the other one? What I mean is there a door leading from the control room to the outside?
Oh yes. That recess there. There's the outline of a door. Now let me see. I'm just reconfiguring the architecture of the outer shell to bring the door online.
Well, this has turned out to be a very nice surprise.
Oh, indeed. Say goodbye to all those whistles and bangs, and hello to a responsive, efficient machine.
What's happening?
Oh, I've spoken too soon. That's what. Hey, it's not stopping. What's it doing?
Where's the door gone?
To space? Impossible. We're not even in flight.
Oh, Grandfather, do something.
What do you think I'm doing, child?
Grandfather? What is that?
Stay back, Susan. It looks like the untempered Schismo Gallifrey.
Oh no. We're going to be sucked out into the vortex. Grandfather, do something.
I think I forgot to engage the safeties when I began reconfiguration. I can't bring them online. Oh, the ship will be the death of us.
Grandfather, you're scaring me.
I'm scaring myself, Susan. Hold on to the console, or the time winds will suck you out of the ship.
It sounds like the room is about to collapse.
I know. And if I don't do something quick, the ship will be turned inside out and dragged through that hole and out with it. Right, of course.
I can't hold on. Grandfather!
Wait, if I bring online the containment field and set it around the console.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was going to be sucked out into the vortex and lost forever.
I've brought us a little time, Susan. Let's hope I can use it effectively to find a solution to this catastrophe.
Can't you shift the containment field into the hole?
What? Ah, I see what you mean. Susan, that really was very good reasoning, my dear. Now, let's see if it can be done. It's not responding.
But something's happening. Look!
Are you all right, my dear?
Yes, I think so. What do you think happened?
I think it stabilized itself. Give me a reading on hull integrity, would you?
It's 76%. Well, that's not bad, I suppose.
Yes, certainly better than I feared. I'm going to try something.
You've deactivated the containment field. Grandfather, is that wise?
Well, we can't stay trapped here around the console for the rest of our lives now, can we? Anyway, I think the immediate danger has passed. I wonder if I can scan that thing. Gather some data. Yes. Well, we were right. this is a gap in space-time. It also seems to be a sort of portal.
A portal? Oh, goodness, where to?
Well, it seems to be a localized link. Ah, yes, it's here. The link is to Shoreditch. But the Shoreditch of 1379. Well, how very interesting.
What are you doing, Grandfather?
Oh, I would have thought that was obvious, my dear. I'm going to step through the portal.
But you can't. The energy could rip you apart.
On the contrary, child, it's a stable link. How it was forged, I can't say for the moment. But perhaps the answer lies in 1379.
Please don't go, Grandfather. It's too risky.
Life is risk, Susan. Well, if it will satisfy you, I shall take a few more readings, just to be sure. Now, look at the display, Susan. You see that reading there? Yes? The transfer should be more or less instantaneous, and so my exposure to the time energies will be, well, minimal. It's an acceptable risk.
In that case, maybe I should come too.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But think about it logically. There's safety in numbers, and we can look out for each other. To be honest, I'd rather not go at all, but I don't like the thought of you going through the portal on your own.
My dear Susan, that's very kind of you. And, I might add, rather brave, too. Take my hand, child, and let's step into the unknown. Oh, my word. I feel like I've just gone 5 rounds with the mountain mauler of Montana.
I know what you mean. I feel like my whole body's been battered. I won't be surprised if I've got bruises all over. Should time portals have that effect?
I've not studied such things in depth, so I can't say for certain. But I imagine it's not the norm. Another good reason for finding a way to shut it down.
So, this is Totter's Lane in 1379. I think I prefer the junkyard. At least it doesn't have this awful smell.
Indeed not. Well, they didn't have proper drainage back then, so, well, now, that is.
Listen, someone's coming.
Oh, goodness. Get behind these bales of hay.
Grandfather, look. There's someone there. And they don't look local.
What gave it away? The clothing and the laser weapon? Or the fact that she has blue skin?
Well, you shouldn't be here, that's for certain. But what are you, I wonder?
She seems to be scanning the portal. Have you ever seen that species before?
Oh, yes. And so should you. It's in my galactic gazetteer. Didn't you ever study it, child?
Well, some of it at least. So what is she?
She is Malvisian and has very good hearing. Was that covered in your book?
You must wonder who we are.
Well, not native to contemporary Earth, that's for certain. I can smell the synthetic fibers in your clothing from here. Maybe an exchange of information would be helpful at this point. Captain Talwinda Mace, of the Malvisian 7th Police Division, on deep space mission. And you?
The doctor and Susan, my granddaughter, of, no fixed abode.
Well, not much of a disclosure, I must say. I'm disappointed. I've been quite open with you.
You're carrying a sidearm, Captain. That's usually enough to put me on guard.
And you carry no weapons yourselves?
Ordinarily, no. But we will defend ourselves if attacked.
You don't need to be afraid of me, Doctor. I have no interest in attacking you. And as long as you don't interfere with my mission, that won't change.
Huh. How very gracious of you, I'm sure. Well, at least we know where we stand.
You have no reason to be offended. I'm simply stating facts. So, do I take it you came through this portal?
Well, it just sort of appeared in our ship.
Susan, please.
Well, it seems stable for the moment. So you didn't intend coming here?
Perhaps not.
I understand your caution, Doctor, but I think it would help if you started being open with me. Don't worry, all I want is a clearer picture of what's happening here.
Well, it's as Susan said. This was entirely accidental. The portal formed in our ship, and we stepped through to investigate.
So, you know nothing about Craxon?
Craxon? Captain, I haven't the faintest idea who or what that might be.
I think I believe you. I have a sense for that sort of thing. Craxon was my prisoner. I was escorting him to a new maximum security facility when he escaped.
Oh, how awful.
Indeed. You name it, Craxon did it. He was one of the most dangerous men ever to live.
Eh? Past tense? So he's dead then? Doesn't that mean your problem is solved? Case closed?
Craxon may be gone, but his cat is still at large.
Oh, no.
Oh, really, child? You didn't study that galactic gazetteer of species at all, did you? The captain isn't referring to some cute little pussycat, but to a powerful creature called a Simix, native to Malvesia.
Your grandfather is correct, Susan. It seems you don't realize the significance of this matter. The Simix are shape changers. In their passive form, they are like the domestic cats of this world. However, they have the ability to change into powerful cat-like humanoids. When they change, they look a little like the werewolves of this planet's folklore.
Oh, no, that sounds very worrying.
It is. But usually they don't pose any danger. You see, my people have a psychic bond with the Simix, which enables us to keep them calm and remain in their safer, passive form. Thus, the threat is minimized.
Huh. But what gives you the right to do that, eh? To control, enslave another species?
Because a Simix without a handler could massacre a population. That's why. Would you rather that we had exterminated them, Doctor, and removed the threat posed by the Simix entirely? I'm sorry, but the relationship between my people and the Simix is a complex and sensitive one.
Captain, if I've misjudged the Malvesian people, then I apologize. However, please do me the courtesy of allowing me to reserve judgment on the matter for the moment.
That's fair. Actually, the system has its weaknesses. If a handler is bad, then the cat can be worse than if it was running free in the wild. Craxon's own Simix is a case in point. Under his control, it was responsible for countless deaths. And now it's loose on Earth. Well, I dread to think what it might do. It must either bring it into custody or neutralize it.
Then it seems we have no choice, Captain. We must assist you for the sake of the people of Earth.
So, do you have a Simix as well, Captain?
Of course, but when Craxon attacked me, his Simix attacked mine and left it seriously wounded. I've put it into the medical pod on my ship. Before you ask, Doctor, yes, my ship is cloaked and hidden in the safe place. Finding Craxon's Simix would be much easier if my cat were well, because it would sniff it out in a heartbeat.
Well then, 3 pairs of eyes will just have to do.
Grandfather, how can we find the Simix? London's just too big for 3 people to search. It could take us days, but perhaps even weeks.
Oh, possibly. But at least in 1379, the city isn't quite as big as in 1963. Perhaps our task won't be quite as difficult as we fear.
Perhaps we should split up, try and cover more ground?
In any other circumstance I might agree with you, Captain, but Susan and I have never encountered a Simics before, let alone an untethered one. It would be advisable to stay with you. Besides, you need us to act on your behalf. Forgive me for saying so, but you can't risk talking to the locals. One look at your blue skin, and the people of London would panic. No, better for you to stay cloaked and hooded, and leave interactions to us.
It's been over an hour and there's been no sign. Oh, and it's almost night, and surely a creature like that is bound to have had an advantage over us in the dark. Shouldn't we stop?
You're right, Susan. We should find somewhere to get food and a place to rest. What is that?
Ah, yes, of course. 1379. That's the city's curfew bell. It rings every evening at 9 o'clock. We best take ourselves off the street into that inn. We don't want to get caught by the night watchman on patrol. Come along.
Good eventide. What'll it be, Master?
Ah, yes, I wonder if you have a room for me and my granddaughter. Granddaughters, I should say.
I have one, though it's a bit small.
Oh, that's fine, perfectly fine. It'll only be for a night.
And it's a rather cold one. My wife's made some broth, though. Might warm you up a little.
That would be most welcome. Thank you.
Have you heard the latest, good master? 3 murders this very evening. Cheapside's not what it was. To think we would see such days. Well, I used to be annoyed at the curfew. Stops fellows coming in for a drink, but now I say God bless it. It's keeping London safe.
Ah, yes, of course. So there's some fellow on the loose out there. Dear me. How terrible.
Not a man. No man could do that. Like an animal. Rips people apart. Some fellows reckon a bear has escaped from a travelling show, but bears are easy to spot. This thing, whoever it is swift and silent. Ah, right, yes, here's the broth for the 3 of you. Enjoy.
My thanks. Tell me, good innkeeper, do you know the chief of the watch? I'd like to speak with him, if possible.
Yeah, I know the fellow quite well, sir. He's one of my regulars. He'll be in from his rounds for a quick tank-yard of ale before I close up for the night. I'll introduce you to him. Now, if you'll pardon me, I must attend to the fire.
Good thinking, Doctor. This official could have valuable information.
Oh my, I've been so slow. Now it begins to make sense.
What is it, Grandfather? Have you thought of something?
I certainly have, my dear. The curfew bell. It rings from the tower of the church of St. Mary le Bow.
I don't understand.
1379, child. 1379. Can it be, I wonder? Tell me, Talwinda, are the Simics affected by sound waves?
Yes, like most creatures, I suppose. Ah, I see your point. If we use the right frequency on the Simics, it will confuse it and force it to revert into its passive form.
Then that's what we must do, as soon as the chief of the night watch arrives. Well, until then, let's enjoy our broth. Ah, most refreshing. Most refreshing indeed. Well, tuck in, both of you.
So this is the church. It's very impressive.
Yes, indeed. It was built after the Norman conquest as the London base for the Archbishops of Canterbury. You'll notice the telltale Norman arches, yes? In fact, the name Bow comes from the archers, hence Mary Le Beau.
The church tower is very tall, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. It can be seen from quite a distance and is used by ships coming up the Thames to aid their navigation into port. Quite helpful, really. And of course, it houses the curfew bell, which is why we're here. Ah, and here comes Talwinda.
Doctor, I've got the components you wanted from my ship. I hope there's enough. Did you check up on the time portal?
I did. It still seems to be stable, and I don't think anyone's noticed it yet. Grandfather has been busy convincing the head of the Night Watch that he works for the king.
And with great success, I might add. Now, let's see those parts, Talwinda. Ah, yes. Very good, very good.
I'm pleased to hear it. So maybe now you might feel like revealing all the details of your plan. After all, I presume you'll need my help.
Oh, most definitely, Captain. Would you mind?
What on Gannett's moon is this?
I would have thought that was obvious. It's a big bag of bells. Well, come on, then. Now, we've been very patient with you, Captain, and as we climb the tower, I'll explain what I have in mind. I asked you earlier if the Simex were affected by sound waves, and you confirmed it. So now we're going to adapt the curfew bell to the required frequency.
Oh, are you going to drive the creature away?
Of course not, Susan. Why would we want to do that? We've been trying to find the wretched thing for the last 2 hours.
I think I understand. So you want to use the bell to create a sonic disruption field around the area?
Exactly. And if the Simex is caught within the field, it will become confused and helpless, and more easily captured. Once we've got the bell of St. Mary Le Beau properly tuned, we need to do the same with all these handbells. The components from Talwinda's ship will enable us to increase the sonic effect of each handbell. These will be used to herd the Simex to this tower and into our trap.
Oh, Grandfather, it's nearly midnight. How long is the tuning going to take?
Hopefully not that long. I'm conscious that any delay risks another death. Right. Enough chit-chat. To work.
Grandfather, the innkeeper's coming with a large group of men.
Ah, excellent. It should be the members of the Night Watch and some volunteers.
Well met, sir. We brought as many as have both courage and wits.
Excellent, my friend, excellent. Now, you men, I want to thank you in the King's name for coming here tonight. As you know, a foul creature stalks the lanes and alleys of this fair city. We know it has killed 3 times, maybe more since. Therefore, we must work together to stop it. I feel confident that we shall succeed. Now, my friend, if you would hand out the bells.
Has anyone actually seen this creature?
Eh? Yes, of course. It stands taller than a man and is covered in thick black hair. Its face is like that of a cat, though savage, with great fangs. It is terrible to behold, and you will need all your courage to confront it.
And what is the purpose of the bells?
Ah, well, you see, the noise will have a powerful effect on the creature, and so you could drive it beast before you.
This creature from hell is frightened by a few bells. How can that be? Oh. Have there been blessed by a priest.
Eh? What? Oh, yes. Well, yes, the bells are special. Very special indeed. Now, it would be advisable for you to work together in pairs. In that way, the handbells will be more effective. Now, I've drawn a map of the district and marked out where I need to station each pair.
So, when do we ring the bells?
If you meet the creature, ring your bells immediately. It is both your weapon and your defense. Then, drive it towards the church. If you hear someone else's bell ringing, then return here with all speed, ringing your bells. That way we shall track the beast here at the church. Well, unless there are any more questions, please go to your places.
We understand, good sir, and we won't let you down, or our beloved city.
I have every confidence in you. One moment. Who was that young man asking all the questions?
Oh, that's Master Richard, not long arrived in London. He set himself up as a merchant. Pleasant young fellow.
I see. Well, how interesting. Oh, don't let me delay you.
You know, Doctor, this could just work.
Well, if it doesn't, we're going to look pretty foolish. And someone else may lose their life tonight. We dare not fail, Captain. We dare not.
So, tell me, good innkeeper, do you believe this creature exists?
Well, let me ask you a question, my young friend. If you've doubts, why are you carrying a handbell through the streets of London in the middle of the night? Are you in the hopes of catching it?
A fair point. Perhaps I'm hoping it's not true. I don't like the idea of a creature like that stalking our streets and killing our people.
It's terrible, right enough, but these bells will help us drive it to its doom.
What was that?
What was what?
Don't make any sudden moves. It's the creature.
Saints preserve us.
Just keep calm. Remember, we have the blessed bells to help us. When I moved to London to become a merchant, I didn't expect to be spending my evenings facing down demons.
It's bigger than I expected.
Big it may be. It's going right back to hell.
Don't try and fight it, lad. You wouldn't stand a chance.
I think that's what it expects. Then no one would risk taking it on. Well then, I've got a surprise for it. Take that!
Oh, you stabbed it. Well done.
But the wound wasn't deep. It moves too quickly.
The foul beast of hell. You shall not prevail. Ah! It got me, lad. It got me.
Have at you, monster of the pit. Ah! It's no good. It's on its guard. We need to follow it.
I can't go on. My leg.
Then give me your bell. Quickly. I'll chase down the beast.
But you can't face it alone.
What other choice is there? I have a chance to stop this thing, and I'm going to take it.
Remember, drive it towards St. Mary's Tower. God bless you, lad. God bless you.
Any sign of the creature?
Nothing from this side, no. What do we do if the creature has gone beyond the district?
That's unlikely. It's killed at least 3 times here. The only thought in its mind now will be that this is a good hunting ground. It's claimed this area for its own now and won't move on until it's challenged by something bigger and more savage than itself. Believe me, it'll still be close by.
Well, that makes sense. I wonder what's keeping Grandfather. He really should be here when the Simics arrives.
I haven't known him long, but I formed the impression that your grandfather is a law unto himself.
Yes, you could say that. Oh, it's no good. I must go and find him.
I would strongly advise against that, Susan. If you were to run straight into the path of the Simics, you wouldn't stand a chance. You'd be ripped apart in seconds.
Well, it's a chance I've got to take. I must find him. And don't worry, I'll be careful.
If anyone should go, it should be me. I have experience of the Simics.
But that's precisely why you need to stay here. After all, the sonic disruption field might need adjustments, and you'll know what to do.
Very well. I don't like it, but you must do what you feel is right. Here, take my gun.
Oh, I'm not so sure Grandfather would approve, but I'll take it, just in case.
Good luck.
Where are you, monster? Show yourself! Show yourself, creature! Ah, where's it gone? Ah! Oh, you may be a big beast and quick with it, but I'm not helpless. Not so scary now, are you? Go on, off with you, creature! I'm going to drive you straight back to hell. Go on, beast! Go on! Run while you can!
Susan, is that you?
Talwinda. There you are. Any news?
Where's Susan?
What do you mean, where's Susan? Don't tell me you let her go out into the dark when there's a menacing creature prowling the streets.
She went looking for you. And before you ask, I had no right to make her stay. I told her of the dangers, but she insisted on going.
Oh, the foolish and headstrong child. Well, I must go out and look for her.
And most likely you'll miss each other in the dark. Doctor, you should stay here.
Now look here, Captain. I don't know. Oh my goodness, the handbells. Can you see anyone coming?
It's too dark and it's difficult to work out the direction of the sound from up here.
Then there's only one thing for it. I'll have to go back down. When the creature comes into view, I'll raise my lantern 3 times, and then you can ring the bell and activate the disruption field.
First Susan, now you? Being headstrong must run in the family. This is a mistake, Doctor. You're older and slower than me. We haven't the time to argue. Good luck. I'll await your signal.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you.
Grandfather? Grandfather, are you there? No, where is he? Oh, this was a mistake. What am I going to do? Oh, goodness bells. That must mean... Oh no! Why did I leave the tower? Oh, Grandfather, where are you? Oh, the gun. I don't want to hurt you. Really, I don't. But I will defend myself. That was a warning shot. You understand? Please stay back. I warned you. It's jammed. Oh no. Why won't it open? Let me in! Let me in! Is anyone there? Where is everyone? Why won't nobody answer?
Susan! Susan! I'm here! I'm here!
Grandfather! Grandfather!
Get behind me, child. Get behind me. I'll hold it off with this lantern. Keep back, I say. I mean it. Keep back. Keep back. Oh!
Leave the old man and the maiden alone, creature. I shall show you some sport this night. Prepare to meet your doom, beast.
Susan, you must signal Talwinda. Raise the lantern, child. Raise the lantern 3 times.
You're trapped, creature. Trapped and doomed.
Look, the Simics is back to normal.
What just happened?
Well, the young man with all the questions. Help me up, there's a good fellow. Thank you. Well, the sound from the bell of St. Mary le Beau was adapted to send out a high-powered sound wave, which confused the Simics and caused it to revert to its passive form.
I don't pretend to understand any of this, but I'm grateful the whole matter is over. It is over, isn't it?
Oh, I expect so. When Grandfather sets himself to a problem, things have a habit of turning out all right in the end.
And the creature?
Little more than a mangy moggy, and no threat to any of us. Well, for the moment at least. But don't worry, we have a more permanent solution in mind.
Oh, you've done it! Oh, Master Wittington, you've gone and bloody done it!
Wittington? Oh my.
Susan, what my granddaughter means to say, young man, is that your surname sounds familiar. Tell me, Master Richard, do you perhaps belong to a Gloucestershire family? Mm-hmm.
Why, yes. My late father was Sir William Whittington, the Member of Parliament for Portly. But I'm here now, in London, and it's where I intend to make my name.
And I have a feeling, Dick Whittington, that you'll do just that.
Have you sealed off the secondary control room?
Yes, and once I've consulted the manual, I'll put that room into a repair cycle. After all, we can't have a gaping hole in the fabric of space-time in the ship, now can we? Of course, we won't be able to use that room for quite a while, but I don't suppose that matters too much.
I know you still have problems with the ship, but surely you couldn't have done anything to create that portal. There should be safeguards to prevent that sort of thing happening.
I've been thinking the same thing, my dear. It's almost as if some other force were responsible. Well, for the moment, we have no avenue of investigation.
I wonder if Talwinda has completed her mission.
Eh? Oh, I dare say she has. She's a very capable person. The Simics will undergo a rehabilitation and be tethered to a new handler.
Ah, yes, of course. So, we actually met Dick Whittington. Did you know we'd see him?
1379, Susan. 1379. That was the year he is first recorded in the City of London. Once I knew the year, I felt sure there was a strong possibility that our paths would cross. And when Talwinda explained about the Simics, well, Dick Whittington has long been associated with the cat, hasn't he?
Well, it wasn't how I imagined it would be.
History often isn't, my dear. That young man went on to have a very successful career as a merchant, a city councillor, Lord Mayor, and as a Member of Parliament. He sat on a number of royal commissions and was a great benefactor of the City of London. He's building hospitals, rebuilding churches, and improving drainage, which I think you'll agree was certainly necessary.
But then there is also this. I found it in the library.
Dick Whittington and his cat? Well, pure fantasy, my child. Pure fantasy, as we now know from first-hand experience.
Oh, I know that, Grandfather. The cat didn't go abroad and deal with the Sultan's mice. Richard wasn't poor, ill-treated kitchen boy. And Bow Bells didn't call out, "Turn again, Wittington." Yes, that's all clear.
So what's your problem, eh?
Leaving aside Bow Bells and the cat, the Dick Whittington of the books seems to be an entirely different person to the Richard Whittington of history. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's because human beings are not like us, Susan. For most of them, fantasy is more interesting than reality. So they think it perfectly fine to blur the edges between fact and fiction if it suits their purpose. Now, in the case of Sir Richard Whittington, they took a popular, well-loved benefactor of their city and built an entire folk tale around him. And it's been entertaining people for centuries.
So, don't they care about the truth?
The truth? Oh, really, child? Since when did people let truth get in the way of a good story, eh?